Hello everybody and welcome back to Willowier. Today we are playing Pokémon Scarlet. Now, full disclosure, all I plan on doing in this one is lessons, and there's a lot to do. This is all I've got left to do though, so keep that in mind. It's just school. So we're going to start off with Miss Time. I've done a lot though. I have done a lot. A bunch of shinies, a bunch of level ups. Momo finished her Pokedex. We're going to shiny hunt after we get everything all finished off. Hello everyone! Well done on the midterm exam. Some of you earned perfect scores and others seem to have a bit of trouble, but I can tell that you all tried your best. I am quite pleased to say that every last one of you passed. I can only assume that this means you have all come to love numbers. Stay sharp and try your best for the rest of my classes too. Speaking of staying sharp, do you know how the word applies to Pokemon battles? That's right, it has to do with stat boosts. A Pokemon's stats can rise and fall throughout the course of battle, correct? For example, if a Pokemon uses a move Workup, its attack and special attack stats will rise by 1 stage each. And as you may know, each time a Pokemon's attack or special attack rises 1 stage, moves affected by that stat will deal 50% more damage. If that Pokemon from our previous example were to use Workup again, both its attack and special attack have risen by 2 stages total. The result is this results in a 100% increase to damage dealt, making its moves twice as strong. Swords Dance, on the other hand, boosts attack by 2 stages at once, allowing the Pokemon to deal double damage after just a single use. Using Swords Dance twice would boost the Pokemon's attack by 4 stages. How much more damage then would this Pokemon deal? Ah yes, this question is a tricky one, isn't it? Damage would be doubled if it's used Workup twice. Oh, it said Swords Dance. Oops. Whoopsies! But we're talking about Swords Dance. Each stage that a Pokemon's attack or special attack stat is raised, increasing its damage by 50%. So, being raised 4 stages would result in a 4 times 50% or 200% increase, which is why I thought it was double. Oh, I see. The base damage of a move is 100%, so adding 200%, that gives us 300%. In other words, the next move the Pokemon uses will deal triple damage. Type matchups, critical hit damage, and other factors all play into these calculations as well, so even a small boost must be taken seriously. By the way, if a stat simply rose, that means it has gone up by 1 stage. If it rose sharply, that's 2 stages. And if it rose drastically, that's 3 stages. Just so you know, the X attack and SP attack items, which can only be used in battle, can be used to sharply boost those respective stats. Oh my, is that the bell? I suppose that's all for now. What a shame. Today's lesson was a little difficult, so be sure to review what you've learned in order to stay sharp. I'll see you all again next class. She made me look dumb. I totally read that wrong. Alright, class 5. Hello everyone, let's have a fun class today. Did you make sure to review last class's material in order to stay sharp? I know it's a little difficult with all the talk of multiplication and percentages and the like, but today we'll be talking about percentages again to learn about probability. That may sound like we're going to have another difficult class, but did you know that all of you already deal with probability on a regular basis? Pokemon moves generally have a property called accuracy, which determines the probability that they will hit. The accuracy of Tackle is 100, or 100%, so if you were to use Tackle 100 times, you could expect it to hit all 100 times. The move Hypnosis, which puts opponents to sleep, has an accuracy of 60, or 60%. That means you could expect to hit it 60 times in 100 uses. To put that another way, out of 100 uses you could expect to miss 40 times. Many of the truly powerful moves often tend to have lower accuracy. So when you're deciding whether to go slow and steady with moves that are sure to hit, or hard and fast with stronger but less accurate moves, you're already studying probability. Let me see here. Perhaps Surf and Hydro Pump would be good examples for this discussion. Surf has a power of 90, its accuracy is 100, meaning that you can expect to hit every time. Hydro Pump's accuracy is only 80, but when it hits, its power is 110. So between Surf and Hydro Pump, which move would you want to use yourself? Oh my, I see you're always considering various possibilities, Willowier. I may have made it sound like there was a correct answer, but there's not. You're free to use any moves you wish. Factors like PP, or number of targets hit, may make some moves more suited to certain situations. However, trading accuracy for power, or vice versa, is purely a matter of preference. This Surf versus Hydro Pump debate has been going on for quite some time. Personally, I'm more invested in debating the Rock-type moves, Rock Slide and Stone Edge. Let me tell you, I could get really worked up by talking about those moves, but... Oh my, there's the bell, what a shame. Next class will be the last of our time together, so show up 100% ready to go. Sixth class. Hello everyone, I hope we can have fun once again today for our last class together. Last time we learned about probability using move accuracy as an example. Probability is quite an interesting subject. Did you know that in a class with 40 students, there is a 90% chance that 2 of them will have the same birthday? This is true even despite the fact that there are over 300 days each year. Isn't that remarkable? But let's move on to today's topic before we get swept along with probability again. I've been teaching you all how to calculate damage in this class using examples like type matchups, critical hits, stat boosts, and the like. All of these variables are multiplied together to calculate damage dealt to an opponent. However, did you know that there is even an example, Okay, I'm going to restart that. However, did you know there is an even simpler way to increase the damage of your Pokemon's moves? All you have to do is have your Pokemon use a move it shares a type with. If a Rock-type Pokemon uses a Rock-type move Stone Edge, the move's base power is 100 is multiplied by 1.5 to become 150. Ground and Rock may seem like similar types, but if a Ground-type Pokemon uses Stone Edge, the move's power will remain 100. Super effective moves and critical hits also add multipliers onto this little numerical increase. So it most certainly must not be taken lightly. Let me ask you a question to see if you understand what I'm talking about here. Say you have a move with a power of 100. If a Pokemon that shares a type with this move uses it and hits an opponent that is weak to that type, what happens to that move's power? I wasn't fully paying attention, but I believe it's 200. Close, but a power of 200 would only take into account the doubling effect of using the move that is super effective against the opponent, which is what I thought she was saying. I didn't know she had said the 1.5. Whoopsies! First, using a move that shares a type with its user multiplies the move's base power of 100 by 1.5, making it the power of 150. The fact that the opponent is weak to the move's type then doubles that power from 150 to 300. The original power of the move ends up being tripled. Isn't that amazing? What's more is a Pokemon terrestrializes and its Terra type matches one of its original types. Then the bonus it gets for using a move of that same type is increased from 1.5 to 2. Of course, being able to use a lot of moves with different types is great as well. That's one way you can surprise your opponent. In the end, your own innate characteristics are what will really let you shine the most. Bear in mind that this is true for both humans and Pokemon. It sure would make me happy if you could take those words to heart, but I suppose I should really have shared this basic advice right from our first lesson. My apologies. And just like that, class is over. The last of our time together flew by in the blink of an eye. It was so much fun to be able to teach all you eager students about numbers. Next class will be our final exam, or our fun final exam. Be sure to review the material well in preparation. Alright, we're on the final. Alright everyone, it's time to begin our final exam. I'm sure the fun experiences you all had in my class will serve you well as you answer. Oh, it's not up yet. I was like, why can't I select anything? Oh, I don't know this one. Alright, everyone. Time is up. Put your hands on your laps now. This test was a culmination of all I taught you, and I'm sure you all did just fine. Couldn't even say that word. Do go and ask for your scores at the front desk, and then take a nice break. I failed! Alright, so this one I'm guaranteeing is 5. This is the one I think I got wrong. It's a critical hit. I thought the power was halved, so I'm assuming you only get a 25 boost. Because I got 2 wrong. This one I probably also got wrong. This one I'm positive was right. This one I'm positive was right. So I changed the 2 that I thought was wrong. There we go. Now it's all done. Okay, I got XP candies. Yay. Alright, next up we are going to do history, because we're almost done. Greetings, my little students. Whatever you did yesterday it is now a part of history. I was hoping to continue unraveling the marvels that history has presented to us today. However, I imagine your ability to concentrate has been spectacularly derailed by my midterm. I suppose changing things up for fun and variety may be a good idea every now and then. So allow me to tell you an old fairy tale that has been passed down in Paldea for generations. Once upon a time there was a king who very much enjoyed collecting treasure. He was particularly fond of treasures from other countries. One day a merchant from the east heard rumors of this king and came to meet him. The merchant laid out 4 treasures in front of the treasure-loving king. The 4 treasures were as follows: a vessel, a sword, a set of tablets, and a set of beads. Seeing such rarities before him, the king leaped for joy. He showered the merchant with gold coins and claimed all 4 of the treasures for himself. Aha! Perfect timing to make eye contact, young Willowier. Answer me this. I said that one of these treasures was a set of tablets. What do you think these tablets were? Correct. Your daily pursuit of knowledge serves you well. These particular tablets were wooden and used as a writing medium in the East in ancient times. As you may know, they fell out of popular use as paper became more universally available. For the king to consider these paper substitutes treasures, they must have been of superb quality. That, or perhaps they had some amazingly profound teachings written on them. So the king obtained these 4 treasures, and on that very night, it is said that a terrible disaster rained down upon his castle, reducing it to rubble by dawn. Oh, is that the time already? I wasn't done with my story, but alas, so ends today's lesson. If you are interested in how the story ends, you may come see me outside class hours. Oh, I guess that's something we should probably do. Actually, we should probably visit quite a few things. We'll do the classes first, and then we're going to go and do the other stuff. Greetings, my little students. Whatever you did yesterday, it is now part of history. Today we will continue to unravel the marvels that history has presented to us. I trust that you all remember our lesson before the midterm exam concerning the great crater of Paldea and its interior Area Zero. This mysterious crater captured the imaginations of many, including the former Paldean emperor. 200 years ago, a group of explorers claimed to have finally reached its depths. The name of the team that achieved this great feat was the Area Zero Expedition. The team is said to have been made up of Paldea's best and brightest. Skilled battlers, brilliant researchers, talented individuals of all kinds. Among the list of the team members was the name of a man who was an author and brilliant natural historian, Heath. After returning from the expedition to Area Zero, he used his literary talent to record the events of the expedition and publish them. Ah, perfect timing to make eye contact, young Willowier. Let's see if you were paying attention. What was the name of the team that first made it to the deepest reaches of the great crater? Correct. To pick up on where and remember a term I simply slipped into the flow of the lecture, you really are quite the clever one. The correct name for this team was the Area Zero Expedition. The record of their activities written by the expedition member Heath can be found in bookstores and the like even today. This record is known as the Scarlet Book. At the time, the entire region of Paldea was absolutely buzzing about Area Zero. The Scarlet Book was so popular that practically everyone had a copy. However, the book itself was full of fantastical descriptions and illustrations of things that could never be thought of as real. The masses began to call Heath a liar. Even the truth of the expedition making it to the bottom of the crater was called into question. The Scarlet Book was condemned to the shelves of used bookstores as just another book of wild paranormal studies. There's a copy on one of the bookshelves on the ground floor of the entrance hall. Feel free to have a read if you're interested. Oh, is that time already? I must have gotten swept up in filling your minds with knowledge. This ends today's lesson. We will unravel more of history's enigmas together next time. Greetings, my little students. Whatever you did yesterday is now part of history. Today is our last class, so I would like to unravel the mysteries that history has presented to us one last time. In our last class, I taught you about the Area Zero expedition of 200 years ago, correct? The last 200 years is not that long ago at all. And how unfortunate that our history lessons must march so inexorably toward the future. Would it not be more of an adventure to march towards the past instead? To start from our present and study history in reverse? So you agree with me, do you, Willowier? However, I'm afraid I risk incurring the wrath of our dear director if I stray from the curriculum. I suppose I have no choice but to let the flow of time carry us towards the future. In this last class of ours, I shall fill your minds with the history of the terrestrial phenomenon. The technology behind Terra orbs has its origins in Area Zero. Even after the Area Zero expedition supposedly reached the crater's deepest depths, others continue to explore that area. And around 140 years ago, Pokémon cloaked in a mysterious light were discovered there. As you may already have guessed, these were in fact terrestrialized Pokémon. However, when those who discovered these Pokémon brought them out of Area Zero, the light faded, and the terrestrial phenomenon remained a mystery for quite some time. However, 10 years ago, that might as well be present day, a certain someone you have definitely heard of unraveled this mystery. Ah, perfect timing to make eye contact, young Willowier. Answer me this. What is the name of the famous professor who unraveled the terrestrial phenomenon mystery? Really? Correct. To think that you, a new transfer student to our academy, could correctly answer this question. Well, I did kind of technically kill her. You must be very diligent in your studies. Approximately 10 years ago, a professor named Sada unraveled the mystery of the terrestrial phenomenon. She discovered that the shining crystals down in Area Zero, or rather the energy they emit, is what causes Pokemon to terrestrialize. This led the professor to invent Terra Orb technology and to develop a practical use for it. This technology was then shared with both the Pokemon League and our academy. Rumor has it that Director Clavel was one of the researchers on the professor's team. Alas, this story is much less exciting now that someone we all know appears in it. Modern history truly is dull, isn't it? Thus ends my history classes. Our next session will be our final exam. Bring the wonders of history to the forefront of your minds in preparation. Greetings, my little students. It is time for our final examination. Summon your historical knowledge from the dark recesses of your minds and answer the questions. Well, that's easy. Oh, I don't remember this one. A? A folding fan. I didn't even have to read the questions fully. Your time is up. Put your writing utensils down. You must excuse that last question. It is too shallow and ridiculous to be seen on a history test. But alas, the director forced me to include it. So ends our final examination. You may ask for your scores at the school's front desk. Alright, let's see what we got. Woohoo! Perfect score. More candies. So the next one we're going to take is going to be home ec. I see we have some energetic young ones in our class this time around. You may call me Mr. Saguaro. Your time here with me will be spent obtaining knowledge and skills indispensable for daily life. Many of you have left the care of your parents to live here on your own in our academy dormitory. I pray that the knowledge I impart to you will improve the quality of your lives and the necessities thereof, food, clothing, and shelter. Of those three categories, I assume the most pressing and interesting for you all is food. When you eat sandwiches on your picnics, the HP of your party Pokemon will be restored. You will also gain something called meal powers, which can provide all manner of benefits. For example, these powers can make Pokemon easier to catch or increase the XP points that your Pokemon receive. I think you will also find that the breadth of these effects can be expanded by crafting sandwiches of superb flavor. What's more, there is a certain something that is particularly important if we wish to receive meal powers with even more helpful effects. Let me see, Master Willowier, tell me, what must you keep in mind to receive even more helpful meal powers? Perfectly correct, Master Willowier. Perhaps you were already aware of this fact from having helped your family with cooking at home? Your choice of ingredients, including both fillings and condiments, is an important factor in gaining even more helpful meal powers. For example, using sweet ingredients in your sandwiches will help you gain egg power, including numerous bitter ingredients, on the other hand, can gain you item drop power. Learning to aim for specific effects when crafting sandwiches will almost certainly make your culinary endeavors more enjoyable. Please be aware, however, that you can also receive meal powers by eating at restaurants. I must say that I would feel the utmost joy if you all learned much here in my class and came to better understand home economics. Our time together has come to an end for today. I bid you all farewell. Put away your phones. It is time to begin class. In our last class, I believe we talked about the effects you can get from food on your picnics. You can receive meal powers and even restore HP for all the Pokemon in your party. It is a truly convenient means of healing your Pokemon. Unfortunately, as I am sure you are aware, it is not suited for use in battles. When you cannot make food, or when you wish to restore HP quickly, in times such as those, you should make use of healing items, such as potions which you can purchase from Pokemarts or the school store. Healing items are immediately effective and can be used any time that you can open your bag. They are, however, consumed after one use. Potions restore 20 HP, Super Potions restore 60 HP, and Hyper Potions restore 120 HP. The pricier the item, the more HP it will restore. Keep in mind how much money you have when you are stocking up on these items. However, unforeseen happenings are an inextricable part of traveling from place to place. Imagine, if you will, the following scenario. You find yourself with an injured Pokemon, but you have no potions, you are out of sandwich ingredients, and there is no Pokemon centers nearby. Tell me, Mr. Willowier, what should you search for when in a perilous situation with no way to heal your Pokemon? Perfectly correct, Master Willowier. I see you are well learned in survival techniques. If you see something shiny on the ground, it is actually an item that has been dropped there. You may be able to find a restorative item, such as an Oran berry or a potion in this way. You can use the R button to send out your Pokemon to pick up such items as well. And then there are berries, of course. Berries, by the way, aren't like items from shops. If you let your Pokemon hold one, it will decide on its own when to eat the berry during battle. Letting your Pokemon decide this timing for itself can be quite interesting. At any rate, if you find yourself in need of healing, I suggest that you look around for shining items on the ground. If you can't find such items, there are other methods you may employ for healing your... but I see the bell demands that topic wait. Our time together has come to an end for today. I bid you all farewell. Put away your phones, it's time to begin class. In my last class, I taught about HP restoration. However, after class, I was asked by several of you about power points, commonly known as PP. When a Pokemon loses all of its HP, it faints and can no longer battle. What then happens to a Pokemon when it loses all of its PP? Perfectly correct, Master Willowier. Perhaps you know this from first-hand experience? When a Pokemon runs out of PP, it can no longer use its moves. However, each move has its own store of PP, so you can mitigate PP loss by using a variety of moves rather than just one move repeatedly. If a Pokemon loses all PP for all of its moves, it will only be able to use Struggle, an action that also damages the Pokemon that uses it. In order to avoid this predicament, PP can be restored at Pokemon Centers along with HP. Items such as Ethers and Max Ethers can be used to restore PP. Be careful not to confuse potions with Ethers in the heat of battle. However, Ethers are not sold at shops, so you should use them judiciously if you find them. The stronger the move, the lower its maximum PP. Do not waste uses of these moves unless you wish to quickly run out of PP. It is important to find balance in a Pokemon's set of moves. As you can see, HP isn't the only thing you must keep an eye on while adventuring with Pokemon. I hope that you will all take care to ensure that your Pokemon or partner Pokemon can perform at their best as you each engage in the treasure hunt. Our time together has come to an end for today. Our next meeting will be an examination day. Be sure to review well in preparation. The time has come to test how well you have all learned here in my class. Let's begin before the information simmering in your brains from the last-minute cram session fades. It uses struggle. The time for answering questions has come to an end. Please stop writing. I hope you were all able to give the examination everything you had. Please remember to ask for your scores at the front desk before leaving for the day. Alright, let's see if we've also aced this test. Four out of 5. Bet you that other one was one of the trick question thingies. Oh well, whatever. Still passed. Put away your phones, it's time to begin class. Though some of you had to retake the midterm exam multiple times, I am glad to say that the majority of the class passed without issue. I feel honored to see that the knowledge and skills indispensable for daily life have taken root in all of you. I trust that you will all work just as hard on your life skills in this second half of our course as well. Let us now turn our attention to the topic of the day, which was inspired by a question I received on the subject of meal powers. The student who asked this question is a young man who enjoys the culinary arts. He tells me that he regularly researches culinary techniques on his own and pays careful attention to the ingredients he uses. He also spends day and night studying all aspects of the culinary arts. Yet despite this, he is baffled by his inability to increase... Oh, what happened? So tell me, Master Willowier, since you did quite well on your midterm exam, what should this young man do to increase the effectiveness of his meal powers? Perfectly correct. I see that you are knowledgeable about the culinary arts. To increase the effectiveness of meal powers, your sandwiches must be filled with many different ingredients. For a single person, this may prove difficult, but if you prepare a sandwich with others, you will be able to handle a larger serving of bread. With a larger base to start with, it becomes quite simple to add more ingredients to your sandwich, which in turn makes it possible to receive meal powers of increased effectiveness. This applies more broadly as well. When dealing with a difficult issue, working with others to solve that issue may be the best course of action. I am sure that Arvin will likewise work with friends to craft his sandwiches in the future. The identity of the male student is a matter of privacy, so I would ask that you do not pry too deeply. Our time together has come to an end for today. I bid you all farewell. Poor Arvin. Put away your phones, it's time to begin class. While you're out performing fieldwork with one of your Pokémon walking alongside you, have you ever noticed changes in its coloration? Now, I don't mean that it suddenly became a shiny Pokémon or any nonsense like that. I am speaking of it becoming filthy. Pokémon battle. They get hurt by moves used against them. They get battered by wind and rain. They get covered in sand and mud. They get, in a word, filthy. I have seen many a trainer walking about with their adorable little Pokémon without addressing this issue. It is deplorable. Let me ask this question of someone who I am sure would not tolerate such shameful conduct. Ah, yes, Master Willowier. I don't know what you're talking about. I wash my Pokemon. What should you do if your Pokemon is dirty? Perfectly correct. I knew I could count on you to provide me with such an answer. I got cat hair floating everywhere. When your Pokemon are dirty, clean them. This is, of course, simply common sense. While you are having a picnic, you can approach the Pokemon on your team and perform a variety of actions. One such action is putting them through what I like to call the Pokemon wash. In other words, you are able to clean them up. You start by getting your sponge lathered up with soapy bubbles as you gently and carefully scrub your Pokemon. Once your Pokemon is nice and covered in soapy bubbles, the bubbles will encapsulate the filth. Then you can simply wash it away with a spray of water. This will get your Pokemon clean and shining bright as a Terra Jewel. It is certainly quite a bit of work, but this will also restore HP and cure status conditions. However, some Pokemon may have parts of their bodies they don't want scrubbed, or that they would rather not get wet. Be sure to keep this in mind when cleaning your Pokemon. Like Grimer. Now, the most important point that I must mention in this is that some Pokemon like to be dirty. Though I will contradict myself by saying this, please do remember that cleaning your Pokemon is not always the kind thing to do. Like Grimer. Our time together has come to an end for today. I bid you all farewell. Put away your phones, it is time to begin our last class together. Home economics is the study of life's necessities, but looking back on our time together, I realize that I focused almost entirely on food. I hope it's not too late to shift to a discussion of clothing, another necessity in our last class. As I am sure you are aware, our academy has an air of freedom about it. We provide uniforms for each season to accommodate the diverse climate of Paldea. However, students are free to wear whichever style they wish whenever they please. You should all have received 4 sets of tops and bottoms, one each for spring, summer, fall, and winter when the academy accepted you. If by chance you are not aware of this, you may wish to pursue your wardrobe. As long as you wear our school uniform, the rest of your ensemble need not be school issued. This includes your bag or your hat if you choose to wear one. You are even free to style your hair however you wish. Mr. Salvatore's hairstyle, for example, would almost certainly have been against school rules when I was a boy. That reminds me. There is one more thing you all like to decorate, which I must say I find quite charming. Perfectly correct. That's the adorable little thing I was speaking of. Oh, it interests me so. I must admit that I am fascinated by Rotom phones and how to customize them. What's that? How very intriguing. So there's a shop called Delibird Presents where you can purchase cases for your Rotom phones? I thank you for that useful bit of information. I shall have to go myself first thing tomorrow to get an adorable case of my own liking. Forgive me, I seem to have gotten a little carried away with the small talk. As this class known as Home Economics nears its end, I offer these final words to you who have been honing your everyday life skills with me. My field of study is not so decisive as the likes of mathematics, for instance, where test scores might play a part in deciding your future. However, as you go on to cook for yourselves, to take care of your Pokémon, to decide what to wear in the morning when you awaken, I would be honored if what I taught you serves to smoothen out and enrich your lives, even if only a little. This sentiment was imparted to me by Mr. Hazel and his particular outlook on such matters. I thank you all from the bottom of my heart for seeing this class through to the end. Our time together has come to a close for today. Prepare to do your best on your final exam. The time has come to test how well you have all learned in my class. Let's begin before the information simmering in your brains from the last-minute cram session fades. He didn't even teach that. I'm guessing. The time for answering questions has come to an end. Please stop writing. I made the questions a little easier than I'd planned to as a way of saying thank you for informing me about Rotom phone cases. I trust that you all gave this exam everything you had so that you will not have to retake it. Please remember to ask for your scores at the front desk before leaving for the day. Yay, 5 out of 5. That's 3 more down. And we get candies. Alright, now we're going to go and visit their classes. We're going to go to Home Ec. Welcome to the Home Economics classroom. I consider this to be my very own castle of sorts. Master Willowier from Class 1A. Rumors of your activities always seem to be bombarding me from all sides. Indeed, people from all over have been talking about how strong of a battler you are and the amazing Pokemon you take along with you. You are quite the object of everyone's interest, though I imagine that it may be a bother for you. The Home Economics classroom is something of a place of rest for the Academy's students, you see. Here they delight in sharing the latest gossip and the like while enjoying a light snack. You come up quite often in those talks recently, Master Willowier, so much so that I find myself intrigued. If it is not a burden for you, I would very much enjoy having you come see me again in the future. You became slightly closer with Mr. Seguro. Please feel free to relax and unwind if you wish. No need to concern yourself with me. Maybe I gotta leave and come back. We'll check out the staff room. Yes, Willowier from Class 1A. The way you conduct yourself in my class and the answers you give to my questions, I admit they pique my interest. You are quite the interesting pupil, I must say. Tell me, Willowier, given a choice, which do you prefer? Things of old or things that are new? Ah, so you prefer the things of the past, do you? The potential I saw in you was real after all. Yes, this one may indeed be of good use to me someday. You can disregard that. I was simply thinking out loud. I enjoyed our little conversation today. You have my thanks, Willowier. Now we'll talk to this one. Oh my, if it isn't Willowier, hello there. Do you perhaps have a question about class? What were you having trouble with? Let's have a little review here, shall we? Flying-type Pokemon are weak to Rock-type moves, and when a Rock-type move hits a Flying-type Pokemon, what becomes of that move's damage? Yes, that's right. The correct answer is that the move's damage is doubled. Miss Time! Miss Time! Oh my, I see one of my more energetic students is here to see me. You'll have to wait your turn. Dear, there's only one of me after all. Miss Time, is it true that you are a gym leader? That is indeed true. I'm quite the strong battler, you know. Wow, that's so cool. Why'd you quit? So you want to know, do you? I might be persuaded to tell you if you wait your turn. Okay, I can wait my turn. I sure can. I'm sorry for cutting our conversation short, Willowier, but I seem to be in high demand today. Feel free to come see me anytime if you have questions for me. Let's see if I can just go back over her and talk to her. Oh, no. Alright, means I gotta leave the classroom. That's so annoying. Why can't I just finish it like I did with Mr. Jock? Oh, because they move. Hello, Mr. Willowier of Class 1A. It has been some time since we last met. Or last we met. Are you here to eat as well? Ah, excellent. You shouldn't battle on an empty stomach. I myself am here to survey the student cafeteria, let's say. I am observing the nutritional contents of the food that our students partake of on a regular basis. One item on the menu here that I am particularly interested in is the peanut butter sandwich. It is sweet and quite delicious. Yes, perhaps I will order one right now. Oh, look, it's Mr. Seguro. He's so fashionable and cool. I guess the teachers come here to the cafeteria too, huh? Do you think he'll have an egg sandwich? No way. If he gets anything here, it'll definitely be something spicy, like the 5-alarm sandwich. Ah, he's so cool. He'll definitely get that wild and spicy 5-alarm sandwich. Could I have a fire alarm sandwich? I do enjoy the thrill of spicy food. Yes. You suggested I have a peanut butter sandwich, Master Willowier. I suppose I shall have to try one if you insist. That was close. I almost forced myself to order something spicy, my least favorite of flavors. I thank you for restraining me, Master Willowier. It seems that the students tend to view me as fashionable and cool, or even, dare I say it, exuding a sort of brooding strength. I have a habit of acting in such a way as so as not to destroy their image of me. I showed my true colors to you just now without thinking. Please keep this a secret between us. Okay, now for Arvin. Not the bee! Yo, Willowier, you grabbing something to eat too? Man, you sure did give me a beating in that Academy Ace tournament. Seems like all my closest buddies are in another league, you know? I mean, look at you. You just up and became a champion in your first year to boot. You know, that's pretty amazing, right? Then there's Nimona, top marks in every class at school, and she's champion rank too. And I hear Penny's got some kind of offer to work for the Pokemon League or something. I seem to be the only average one around here. Nothing special about me. Nah, I mean, it's just like a hobby, really. I only learned how to do basics because my mom wasn't around to cook for me. Wait, my mom. See, now that Mabostiff is doing so much better, and since the treasure hunt is going, and the treasure hunt is still going and all, I've been thinking of a new goal, to find myself. And I guess you've really got to start by knowing where you come from, which means I should learn more about my mom, right? She was a student at this school once too, that's what I heard. I'm going to search the whole school for info about what kind of person she really was. Thanks for the inspiration, little buddy. Alright. We're in the staff room now. How, Master Willowier? There is something that I would very much like to ask you for your help with. Well, you see, I do not want anyone to overhear this, but I hear rumors of an incredibly sweet condiment that exists somewhere in the Paldea region. I absolutely must experience that ambrosial sweetness for myself. You are the only one who knows of my insatiable sweet tooth, thus I have no one else I can turn to for help in this matter. I cannot go looking for this condiment myself, lest I destroy the image students have of me. I will repay you for your troubles, of course. Give it some thought if this piques your interest. In the meantime, I will gather what information I can about this incredibly sweet condiment. I will share what I find with you as soon as I have more detailed information. This is almost like one of those sim games, or not so much a sim game, but something similar to that. Similar. On to the homework room. Mr. Willowier, about that matter with which I need your help. I have discovered the name of the incredibly sweet condiment. It is called Sweet Herba Mystica. If you should find it during the course of your treasure hunt, I would be grateful if you would share some with me. Do I have it yet? I know I got spicy. Master Willowier, have you anything to report about the Sweet Herba Mystica? Oh. I don't have any. We'll have to finish this thing later. Oh, there she is. Oh my, if it isn't Willowier. Please forgive me if this is an odd question. Were you perhaps watching me from afar just now? Yes, I suppose you wouldn't have been doing something like that. I'm sorry. You see, oh, how should I put this? Recently there have been times when I feel as if I'm being watched. Not by a Pokemon, mind you, but by a person. I thought it might be a ghost, so I tried asking my sister for help. She said it most likely isn't one. She's good with ghost-type Pokemon, you know. Perhaps one of my students is quietly watching me, waiting for a chance to ask me a question? Goodness, if that wasn't an intense gaze I felt. If you notice someone with a sort of fire in their eyes, come tell me, won't you? If they are too shy to come ask me themselves, then I'll go to them. Well, I don't see anybody looking at her. Maybe from up there? I don't see anyone. Let's go talk to the other teacher first. Why, if it isn't Willowier from Class 1A. Are you perhaps interested in the rest of the old tale I told you in class? It is convenient that you would take the bait I presented in class. A vessel, a sword, a set of tablets, and a set of beads. After obtaining these 4 treasures, the king's castle was destroyed. Why, you ask? Because these 4 treasures were actually 4 Pokémon. As these Pokemon were passed from human hand to human hand as treasures, they slowly became tainted by hubris and greed. Finally, after coming in contact with the rapacity of the king at that time, they awakened as disasters and began to rampage out of control. The king called for renowned Pokemon wielders to defend the country, and after a fierce battle, these incarnations of disaster were quelled. It is said that these 4 Pokemon were then sealed away somewhere in Paldea. So what did you think? Would you say the story is just make-believe? Very astute of you. I have read many historical disaster reports, personal journals, and the like. There is much to support the truth of this story. If I am able to prove the story's veracity myself, I will be sure to let you know. But I've already proven it. I've already caught all 4 of them. I could literally just show them to her. Okay. Penny's here somewhere. Oh, there she is. Yeah, what? Willowier? Hurry up and hide, and keep quiet, okay? Phew, that was close. Yeah, you know, I'm just, I guess I might as well come clean. Take a look over there. Do you get it now? Sorry, your jump scare earlier completely frazzled me. My brain's still trying to reboot. Alright, here's the stitch. Team Star have been coming to school again. But I don't know if they're going to fit in okay. And it's been playing on my mind, you know? So I'm checking on them from over here. Guess we're still not exactly getting a warm welcome here, huh? Well, duh. Sure, the teachers finally figured out we're not a bunch of delinquents. But it's not like we could press some magic button to make everyone else accept us. True story. We gotta fix this, my man. Time for a change of tack. Huh? A change of tack? What are they going to do? What, are they going to start wearing normal school uniforms so they stop scaring off the other kids? Oh, Momo, Orty, they're both really trying their best to fit in here at school. A change of tack, huh? What exactly are you suggesting? How about we say a big friendly howdy to everyone here? Like, just yell it, loud as we can. What? That's stupid. Go on and embarrass yourself if you want to, but count me out. Yeah, that idea seems a bit off. Hold up, let me explain. You know Rhyme, right? She does this at her concerts, no joke. If the crowd ain't hyped at the start of the show, she'll shout the loudest greeting you've ever heard into the mic, like, "Sup, y'all," or whatever. Lifts the mood like nobody's business. Yeah, that makes sense, because those are concerts. This is school. It's different. Okay, smart guy, so we're opting for the cold shoulder treatment forever then, are we? No, that'd totally suck. It would, wouldn't it? So yeah, our only option is to yell at everyone so they know we're nice. Here, I'm gonna go for it. Hey, morning, y'all. How we all feeling today? Oh no, Giamasio, what are you doing? This is so embarrassing. Everyone having a good time? Come on, Ortega, you gotta do it too. Hold on a sec. You're just practicing for your DJ sets, aren't you? Thanks for coming tonight. Quick, say it. Thanks for coming tonight. Hey, what do you mean thanks for coming? We're not hosting anything. What on earth? Are those guys from Team Star? What the heck are they yelling for? Is this some kind of skit? Heh, they're pretty funny. I guess they're not as scary as I thought. No way. But people are actually warming up to them? Why? That makes zero sense. Momo and Orty really are operating on a different level. I'm kind of amazed. Why does she call Giamasio Momo? I don't get that. Seems all my worrying was for nothing, huh? Now that that's all settled, I guess I should get going. Hasta la vista. There's another one of them down. That's not who I was trying to talk to. He's smiling an awful lot for that sentence. Alright, what is my next target? Oh, there's still... Okay. We're not done yet. Willowier, the time has come. The cursed treasures, the 4 Pokémon of ruin. They exist. And I stumbled upon the truth in the newspaper of all places, huh? In an interview piece with a carpenter no less. The Pokémon wielders apparently use sacred stakes to seal these treasures of ruin in shrines. There is a separate shrine for each of the 4 Pokémon and 8 stakes driven into the ground in the areas surrounding each shrine to keep the power of ruin at bay. In other words, if all the stakes for a given shrine were to be removed, it would release the Pokémon inside. Don't you think it would be nice to free those Pokémon from the confines of their tiny little shrines, Willowier? A kind soul, I see. You are proving truly useful. According to a descendant of the Pokémon wielders in the story, you must have a bond with Pokémon in order to remove the stakes. I'm sure someone as Pokemon savvy as yourself would have no trouble at all with that. You could choose for yourself whether to believe me or not, but I will mark the locations of these shrines on your map. Not that I need it now. I'd rather go myself, of course, but skipping out of my classes to go adventuring seems to have made the director a little suspicious of me. You can think of it as part of your treasure hunt. Treasures of ruin are still treasures after all. I hope you will investigate these shrines if you are at all inclined to do so. Willowier, did you find any of the treasures of ruin? Oh, you caught Ting Lu, the vessel of ruin? Oh ho, how interesting. I simply cannot keep my curiosity under control. Judging by its shape and size, this vessel was almost certainly not for everyday use. Perhaps it was a work of art. Or, better yet, a ritual artifact housing some sort of deity. I feel that there must be some meaning behind the horns and the design resembling eyes. Could it be that this artifact was fashioned after the deity's very appearance? This mystery grows ever deeper. My thirst for knowledge is slowly being quenched. You look like you have something more to report. What is it? Oh, you caught Xing Pao, the Sword of Ruin. Oh, how interesting. I simply cannot keep my curiosity under control. So the sword's blade and hilt form the Pokemon's left and right fangs. I wonder if the sword broke when it became a Pokemon. Or perhaps it was always that way? No, wait. I cannot imagine the king wanting to buy a broken sword. Maybe it was some sort of weapon that was meant to be used in this broken state. This mystery grows ever deeper. My thirst for knowledge is slowly being quenched. You look like you have something more to report. What is it? Oh, you caught Wo Xing, the tablets of ruin. Oh, how interesting. I simply cannot keep my curiosity under control. I've never seen so many wooden writing tablets strung together. It must have been an epic tale. Most excavated tablets are tantamount to graffiti or simple memos. Still valuable tools for learning about the past, but nothing like this. I can't read it, but given the length, it must be a story, yes, or perhaps the words of a curse? If only the words weren't faded. How frustrating. These wooden tablets piqued the curiosity of a king. What might have been written on them? This mystery grows ever deeper. My thirst for knowledge is slowly being quenched. You look like you have something more to report. What is it? Oh my god. Oh, you caught Chiyu, the Peeds of Ruin. Oh, how interesting. I simply can't keep my curiosity under control. Beads like these were thought to be sacred and thus were worn during religious rituals. I believe they were most often worn as a single bead on the neck like a pendant, but it seems Chiyu has 4 of them. Were the beads worn in pairs, like on the ears and wrists, or were the rituals perhaps performed by 4 people? What on earth could have caused beads such as these, originally used to ward off disaster, to become bringers of disaster themselves? This mystery grows ever deeper. My thirst for knowledge is slowly being quenched. Seeing part of history with my own eyes fills me with joy. I thank you, Willowier. This is simply amazing. You have now reported back to me with all 4 of the treasures of ruin. I never thought that you would be able to do this much for me. You have my thanks, Willowier. I would have liked to go looking for the treasures of ruin myself and make them my own. But I suppose it was precisely because I sent you someone with a pure heart that we were able to accomplish this feat. They may be the treasures of my dreams, but I will allow you to have them for now. Allow me? I caught them! With luxury balls! Consider this a symbol of my gratitude, too. Take it, it's yours. Really? That's what you gave me? You truly are an interesting one, aren't you, Willowier? I hope you don't mind if I continue to keep an eye on you. What is it with this bond stuff? Is there a reason for it? I don't understand. Alright, what's next? Okay, we gotta go talk to her at the cafeteria. I'm gonna end this soon. I just want to finish off the 3 that we just did. Obviously, I can't do the Herba Mystica because that would take some time to find. Where is he? No, wait. Oh, there she is. Willowier, you scared me. Oh no, I'm not here for anything food related at all. I was just walking around the entrance hall, and I felt that intense gaze I told you about before. So I quickly ducked into the cafeteria here. Our cafeteria has only one entrance, so I thought I might be able to discover the identity of the person watching me if they followed me in here. Someone's come just now. Huh? That's weird. I thought I saw her come in here. I guess I won't be able to ask my question today either. That girl, I feel like I've seen her several times before. She seems to be a student here, but I get the feeling that her question is not about her studies. Next time I see her, maybe I'll go start up a conversation myself. It could have been a little scary being here on my own. I'm glad you were here with me. Alright, I guess there's one more left. Now, technically, I got those other ones as well, but those other ones I'm not doing for this because they're not part of the school categories that I've already done. I'm just grabbing them when I go through the rooms they're already in. So in this one, I'll also go ahead and get Nimona too. Where the heck? Where are they? This place is big. I've never actually come here before. Also, I do not see them. They stand out pretty well, so I'm kind of surprised they're not popping up. Well, there's Nimona. Oh? Oh, my egg's hatching. Oh, let's see what it is. This is one of the ones Momo sent over to me while we were trying to fill out her Pokedex. They're mystery eggs. She doesn't even know what they are. This is like the 8th apple in I've got. Alright, well I can finally remove that from my team. Alright, so we know where Nimona is. I swear if she wants a freaking battle right now. Oh, hey, Willowier. Great timing. I've been having the hardest time lining up opponents to battle. But now I found you, in the schoolyard no less. It'd be silly not to battle. What do you say? I knew I could count on you. I really didn't want to. My Pokemon aren't even healed. You spent 2 whole hours battling Pokemon with Nimona. Ah, good stuff. Gotta step up my game so I'll be ready anytime for that Academy Ace tournament. I know I sprang my battle fever on you out of nowhere. Thanks for being up for it. Oh. Well, that's convenient then, I suppose. Because I really didn't have healed Pokemon. There she is. I wonder. Aw, they got their Pokemon out. Why can't I have mine? Wait. Haha, my fishy! Willowier, help me keep an eye out, would you? I've set up a little ambush here for that girl who keeps watching me. She'll be here any second. Well, you see, it's not very pleasant knowing she's just staring at me all the time. And now I know what she looks like after seeing her in the cafeteria. Ah. It's you, isn't it? You're the one who's been secretly watching me recently. Time? How did you know I guess you must have noticed me. I'm sorry. So sorry. Well, of course I noticed. You were watching me practically all day, every day, after all. I assume there's something you wanted to ask me? Yes, I do. I've been a huge fan of yours since your time as a gym leader. And I love rock-type moves so very much. Oh my! But you just suddenly retired from your post as gym leader a year and a half ago. Why did you quit? My goodness, is that all you wanted to ask? Yes, your reason for retiring was never made public. But it's well known among the students here that you just avoid the question anytime it's asked. I thought it would be rude to ask you a question that you don't want to answer, so I just couldn't find the courage to ask. So that's why your gaze felt so very intense, I see. Forgive me. So very intense? Ah, never mind that. As for the reason I quit my job as gym leader, I simply wanted to focus more on my job as a teacher. It's not that I disliked being a gym leader or anything of that sort. Quite the contrary. Talking about the gym fills me with feelings of nostalgia and sadness. That's why I always avoid answering the question when students ask. Oh, I see. Do you have any plans of becoming a gym leader again? No, I'm afraid I don't plan to do so. My sister is doing a splendid job as gym leader in my stead. I personally find being a teacher most enjoyable these days, but since I am in fact your teacher, I would appreciate it if you would call me Miss Time. As students do, and not just Time. Okay, I'm sad to hear that, but I understand. Thank you so much, Miss Time. Well, I suppose that solves the mystery. That was a weird one. That made me so nervous. I said so many things to try to sound cool. I was certainly a little scared when I felt that girl's intense gaze on me, but having you here with me allowed me to do what needed to be done and to face what turned out to be one of my biggest fans. I must thank you for always showing up at just the right time, Willowier. Allow me to show you my appreciation a little. I hope these help you on your adventure. Sweet. Not the kind I'm looking for right now, though. I'm looking for either ice or steel, I think. I actually don't remember what the move is. Hang on. I want to put it on my Excalibur. He's a dragon ice type, so maybe I should actually... No, that's perfect. It's dragon. I need to switch him to dragon. But I don't have 50 Terra Shards, and it takes forever to get those dang things, it seems. Alright, so I think I'm going to call this one good. I'll check real quick and see if there's anything else going on with either time, home ec. Well, home ec I can't, but let's see. Mona, Penny, can't do that one. Arvin, Nurse. That's it? Hey, wait a minute. Why is the director's office Arvin now instead of being Director Clavel? It was Director Clavel first. Maybe they have to be done at separate times. I don't know. Anyway, the teachers I've already done the things for are all done, and on the next one, we're going to do the next 3 classrooms, which I will point out right now. But I've been doing this for an hour and a half, and I'm a little classroomed out. I wasn't exactly looking forward to doing these classroom ones. Oops, I went to the wrong thing. Alright, let's see, what do we got left? We got language, battle studies, and art. So we're going to do those 3, and then we're going to do the remainder of the little side thingies there in the teacher things. And then eventually when I get Herba Mystica for the guy, I'll do another recording where I battle a bunch of trainers that I skipped over and do the Herba Mystica thing and whatever else I can fit into it. But I hope you guys have enjoyed all this schooling. If you have, hit that like, subscribe button. I'll catch you all in the next episode. Bye!